Welcome to another episode of Ask Swenk, and on today's episode we're going to talk about what you can do with your case studies to attract more clients, what do you do with your employees that are not hitting their goals, and what do you do with that client that has a zillion changes. We all have that.
I'm Jason Swenk, and I'm answering your questions. And this is Ask Swenk.
Now, before we jump into this episode, I want to tell you about this live event I'm having in Atlanta next month. And if you want to know more details about this, where it's a small, intimate group of only agency owners, where you get to be with me in person, where you get to ask me anything you want, and we're going to go over some amazing stuff to really kind of reinvent the business development part in 3 different tiers, I want you to go to jasonswenk.com/live event. That's jasonswenk.com/live event. So this week's first question comes from Christian. How can I use a successful case study to attract more business within the same niche? Case studies are an amazing way to attract because everybody within a particular industry wants to know what other people did that succeeded. And you can break it up in a number of different ways. Some of my best lead magnets where I'm basically kind of bribing people to give me their email address is case studies. Like one I have where it says, hey, do you want to know how one agency owner went from $25,000 a month in reoccurring to $87,000 a month in 2 months? It was a huge success. I had tons and tons of people opt in to this, and I basically just walked them through the strategy, because everybody wants to know. And then other things that I did with this is I turned it into a webinar or a workshop that I walk people through. I also turned it into a video for those people that were not able to make the workshop, or if you wanted to create something more, automated, right? So where it didn't require you doing a webinar all the time. We also turned it into a couple blog posts, and then we took those blog posts and we also created kind of infographics. We created tweetable content, and then we also started doing micro content of it as well. So there's tons of things that you can do. I mean, I love what you can do with case studies, especially when you have success in one particular industry, and then everybody else will want that success. And you basically just share with them that, and then at the very end you just say, hey, if you want to know more about this, if you would like to chat with us and have your own kind of success story like this XYZ client did, fill out the form below and we'll chat with you. And you can even do it as audio, you could do it as video. I want you guys to really think about kind of macro marketing your content, right? So you create this really big piece of content, and then how can you slice it up into 1,000 different ways? One of the best people out there that does this right now is Gary Vaynerchuk. If you go to his site, he is basically creating one epic kind of content and then he's slicing it up. And so you want to start doing that. All right, so the next question is from Eric. What can I do to hold my team accountable to their goals? More importantly, if they don't hit them, what kind of repercussions should be there? Job security is one. If they keep missing their goals, you need to ask yourself, and you need to ask them, why are you missing your goals? What did we do that failed you? And you start there first. Because you don't want to put someone on the defensive. It could be something that you've done. I remember, I had a lot of very, very good employees before I was a good manager, right? So I made them bad employees in my eyes because I did not let them succeed. And I automatically thought when we failed, it was their fault. But it all starts with me, right? It all starts with you as well. And so you want to ask them, why are you not hitting your goals? What can we provide you that will enable you to do this? And so that's kind of the first part of this. And then the second time, after they list out all the things that they need from you, and then you kind of get realistic, right? They're going to say, some wild ass crap. And you kind of want to weed through that, and then you kind of get a list and say, perfect. I'm going to commit myself to helping you with this. And so can you commit yourself to doing this? And then if they don't hit their goals again, you ask them, hey, what am I missing? We delivered on X, Y, and Z of what you said you needed, but you weren't able to hit those goals. And then you could say, all right, if you don't hit this, this could be job threatening for the next time. This is the second strike. 3 strikes, you're out. I know what you're kind of saying on the repercussions, you might want money back. You can only really do this if you're actually bonusing them on performance above and beyond. So like, for example, it would be something like to your project managers, right? Let's say if they could get a project done under the project allocated funds, you'd give them you split the profit with them on top of what they could do, right? So if you did it that way, you could do a reverse and say, look, if you come over, this is just going to cut into your existing bonus, right? And let's say they had a $5,000 bonus coming to them for other stuff, this would cut into that. You're not gonna wanna cut into their salaries. Before you do that, you wanna get rid of them anyway. Steve asked, how can I handle a client who wants a zillion round of changes? I think we all have had these clients. We're constantly making changes only to find out they want more changes on top of these changes. It's killing our hours. Is there a more efficient way and profitable way to handle these? The easiest way to do this is to start off doing a $0 change order. Now what this is a change order, but you put in the price that it would cost for them, right? So let's say they come to you, let me back up. Let's say they come to you and they say, Jason, we want to make changes to the existing website. Can you make these changes? And you just launched the website. And it takes you maybe 15 minutes, right? Not much. I mean, it's going to distract you from all the other stuff, but it's easy to do. So what we would do is we would do a $0 change order. We'd say, all right, the minimum of our charge is, let's say, $250 an hour. And then we'd cross it out and say, please sign this. This is what we're going to do. And you can do it electronically now. We used to do it for fax before they had all the EcoSign documents and cool stuff. But you have them sign it. And what this is going to do is going to let them know that you should be charging for this. They're going to start remembering that you're giving them something for free. And you do this a couple times on the little deals. And then when the big things come, you basically say, hey, we've done all these change orders for you for free. These next ones we have to charge for. So that's one solution. The other solution is kind of scope creep, which this starts in the very, very beginning in the sales conversation. So you have to let them know the process that you're going to go through. So if it's a website, you're going to say, hey, look, we're going to design one concept for you at a time. Once you approve this, then we'll actually go on to building out the full website. Then you're going to get one round of changes when we do the website. We're going to give you kind of this kind of ledger to actually document all this. And anything after that, we're going to charge you for it. And you get them to sign off on every part of the process. So now you're documenting everything. So they're educated and you're documenting. That's the easiest way to avoid most of scope creep. So $0 change orders, document and educate. That's the easiest way to do it. So if you like this week's episode, I want you to comment below. If it's on iTunes, if it's on YouTube, if it's on Facebook, whatever it is, comment below on your biggest takeaway from this episode and what action are you going to do? Because so many of us keep complaining that we're not where we need to be. Well, we're not taking action. So I want to really hear what different parts are you going to take action in from this episode? What was the biggest takeaway? And comment below. Now make sure you subscribe so you never miss out on these episodes that we do each week. And I want to hear from you. And just like in the very beginning, if you want to meet with me one-on-one in Atlanta with a small intimate group of agency owners, I want you to go to jasonswenk.com/live workshop. That's jasonswenk.com/live workshop. And I'll chat with you soon.